I'm Jenny Gow from BBC F1. You are listening to Speed City.
Welcome back to the fastest hour in radio, Speed City.
All right, welcome back to the show. We've got a couple more clips that we want to get in, but I definitely want to talk about some of the topics. Jonathan, you have done a fantastic job with all this homework. You've got so many topics in here. But
my editing was rubbish. Which is it?
Oh, that's funny.
Your accent.
Jonathan, I want to talk about this article you spotted on motorsport.com. Can America's top talents still reach F1? I was like, those guys were singing our tune, because I don't know if you're new to watching or listening to us. That's what we've been talking about for years. But what made you put that in here, Jonathan, besides the obvious?
Obviously, it is of our interest to find out. We're very close. We've got 20-year-old Logan Sargent now signed up for the Williams Academy. So, yes, we're on the cusp. We've had Rossi. He did a few races, obviously, and now is an IndyCar driver. And we got very close, very, very close, 48 hours we now hear, as you heard in the last week's show, to get Colton Herta, who is without doubt the biggest star in American racing currently, and is also of an age where he could make it. But the story that this really resounds around is Jeremy Shaw, good friend to the show. And I think we should get Jeremy on. Jeremy, a fellow Brit like myself, so tough luck. We're here to stay. But Jeremy's been running young Americans to the festival, the Brands Hatch Formula Ford Festival. And the likes of Connor Daly, Joseph Newgarden, have all won that festival. And we won it again. The Americans won it again this year. And Jeremy's saying that that's all very well and good, but we're not making future Formula One stars. We're making IndyCar stars out of it because they're not known enough. And so, we've just recently had a situation where had Michael Andretti bought the Alfa Romeo team, we would have had a young Colton Herta with some 30 million behind him per year from Cambridge in Formula One. And I believe he would have been very successful. Instead, we get the dollars of 30 million from China, and China get their first Formula One star in the Alfa Romeo. And Andretti, the deal fell through with 48 hours to go. So the point is there is talent, but I kind of agree with Jeremy. Unless that talent, like Alexander Rossi and like Logan Sargent, is currently racing through the ladder in Europe, they won't be noticed. And the Formula Ford Festival does its bit, but if they come back here or they don't stay in Europe, we're not going to get what we really want, which is 3 or 4 drivers racing in Europe, of which now there are, including the Fittipaldis and the, Cameron Dasses of the world, and obviously Logan Sargent.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need, obviously. We need these guys to be in that European ladder. And, they need to be on the radar of all the teams. It would have been great if Michael had done that. And let's not forget, if you've been watching and listening to us, Michael's not done with that effort. He is going to try to figure that out. So, but yeah, we need those guys, those Americans on that ladder for sure.
One of the things that I see more and more as I'm meeting these young up and comers out at COTA when they come in, and that's one thing I was talking to somebody the other day. Why don't I know about all these things coming to COTA? And I said, well, there's private events, there's private track sessions, there's all these different things going on. And, Speed City guys, we get the opportunity to go visit sometimes out there when the gates are otherwise closed. And I'm seeing more and more of these young drivers who aren't looking at Formula One. As much as the three amigos here want to see Americans in Formula One with all the rest of the country, there's a lot of other seats besides those 20 some odd seats. And the value of coming up, odds are you're going to wind up somewhere else. And it's good. It
is a big culture change. There's no question. I mean, the closest we came with Pat O'Ward, very close. He looks as though he's going to do some Friday drives. But Pat O'Ward was on that path, if you will. So was Connor Daly, GP2, Rossi, as we know. So we've come close on a few occasions, and that's why the Logan Sargent story is good, because he is well backed. He is going through that ladder. But even for it almost fizzled out last year when he didn't get an F2 drive and did a 3rd season of Formula 3, then gets picked up by Capito at Williams and is now in the Williams Academy and looks as though he's going to get plenty of Formula One exposure on a simulator and on some Friday drives.
Mm.